This is Project Audion, timeless audio dramas for modern times, created the classic way.
My name's Groby. I'm a producer. Let me ask you this. How about a nice game of cops and robbers? Actually, do kids even play cops and robbers anymore? I don't think so. They sure used to. And a lot of that was due to shows like Dragnet, which was such a cultural touchstone in mid-century America. It was utterly distinctive, from Jack Webb's hyper-realistic monotone voice to the close attention to police procedural details to the fact that the story you are about to hear is true. It was an utterly unique combination that clicked instantly with the American public. So recognizable that it spawned board games and parodies, and even now, after 75 years, that four-note musical Dragnet theme is something that most people would recognize. And yet, even Dragnet didn't burst onto the airwaves fully formed. The earliest episodes are almost, but not quite, the Dragnet people remember. Even, in fact, the dum-da-dum-dum theme is missing. And in fact, episode number 1, the show's premiere on June 3rd, 1949, is missing completely, except for a copy of that first script. And so now, Project Audion is pleased to premiere a reconstruction of this earliest original episode of Jack Webb's Detective Sergeant Joe Friday, Dragnet. Almost, but not quite, the legendary cops and robbers drama that it became. Then please stay tuned for a fresh parody of Dragnet as penned by Robert L. Mills. Joe Friday untangles the tale of Hairenet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent. Dragnet. For the next 30 minutes, you will travel with the law enforcement agency of a metropolitan area. In cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, these are documented cases of actual crimes, investigated and solved by the men who unrelentingly guard your city's security and your life. This, then, is the story of your police officer. Dragnet.
My identification card reads, badge number 54, assigned to Detective Division, Central Division, blood type O. My name's Joe Friday, and I'm a sergeant. Base pay, $382 a month, and I never heard of time and a half. In compliance with a departmental directive, we work in pairs. My partner's name is Sergeant Ben Romero. Ben's married, has a 6-year-old boy. I'm still single. Ben and I work for the skipper, Ed Backstrand, Chief of Detectives. There's one thing down here at Central Division that'll get you on the move. That's Ed Backstrand's voice.
Friday, Romero, got a minute?
Sure, Skipper. Come on, Joe.
Sit down.
Got something for us, Ed?
Yeah, I got something for you. Slocum's in town.
Slocum? George Slocum?
That's right.
Why, Ed, the last we heard of Slocum, he was facing a murder charge in Kansas City.
He beat the rap.
How?
It was a jury trial Friday. They thought they had an airtight case.
Looks like Slocum had an airtight lawyer.
Yeah. Anyway, he's in town now Friday. You and Romero here know Slocum as well as I do. You know he's the toughest and the lowest kind of thief there is.
No argument there, Ed.
He's big time and petty larceny both. He'll rob a bank or a payphone, and he'll just as soon shoot his way out of the phone booth as he would the bank.
Is there any line on who he's been running with since he came to town?
No, But sooner or later, he's gonna pull something. I want Slocum, but I want him good.
We had him on a robbery and kidnapping once before, didn't we, Ed?
Yeah, that's what I mean, Romero. He got off then too. So I don't have to tell you how slippery he is and how smart. Okay, this time, if and when you arrest him, be sure you've got a case, Tim, against him that nothing can blow over.
Yeah.
Starting right now, every case you go out on, I want you to keep Slocum in the back of your mind. From now on, he's your baby.
Some baby, George Slocum, age 42, 6 feet 7, about 190 pounds. Dull brown eyes, sandy hair, a streak of darker hair over his right ear, and a streak of killer and thief right through him. The next 3 days were routine. A liquor store holdup, a couple of gas stations. But no matter how small the job was, Ben and I kept Slocum in the back of our minds, like Chief Backstrand had told us to. We kept trying to tie in Slocum, but he wouldn't tie. Then, on the morning of the 4th day, came the only thing that gets more attention at Central Division than Backstrand's voice. A hotshot. That's an emergency alarm system that means somebody wants a policeman in a hurry.
That's a hot shot, Joe.
I got it.
Beverly and Vermont. A payroll holdup at Beverly and Vermont. A payroll holdup.
What is it?
Payroll job, Beverly in Vermont. Okay, Ben, that's one to roll on.
Let's go.
Six minutes later, we arrived at Beverly in Vermont. 2 officers in a radio car were already on the scene. The officers were talking to the victim, a man named Ferguson.
Mr. Ferguson, you want to just get in our car a minute? We can talk here.
We're from the detective division.
All right.
We'd like you to tell us just what happened.
Yes, you'll have to pardon me. I'm still a little shaky.
I can understand that. Here, have a cigarette.
Oh, thanks. I could use one.
Now, try to remember what took place.
Well, my partner and I have a manufacturing company down in the next block.
You usually come to the bank for the payroll money yourself?
Yes, on the 1st and 15th. We pay in cash.
I see. Now, how about this morning?
Well, I started out for the bank as usual. I always try to arrive just after it opens. I went into the bank and withdrew the payroll money, about $8,000. I put it in a paper sack, as usual. Then I went outside and started back along the sidewalk toward the plant. Well, about halfway between the bank and the plant, there's a vacant store. Now, just as I got to it, a hand suddenly shot out and pulled me into the doorway.
This is a heist, mister. Keep your mouth shut, or I'll drill you.
Well, I could feel a gun pressing into my side. Just then, a car slid silently to a stop right in front of the doorway, sort of screened us from the street.
All right, hand over the paper sack. Come on, let's have it.
He grabbed it out of my hand and stuffed it in his pocket. The driver of the car opened the door. And the man who was holding the gun on me took hold of my arm.
Come on, get in the car. Start moving.
Well, suddenly, I had the feeling that if I did get in the car, they were going to kill me. I don't know how I knew, but I did. So, just as I got to the car door, I broke away from the man who was holding me and ran down the sidewalk. The man jumped in the car, and they pulled away fast in the other direction. So I stopped running. The car turned into an alley halfway down the street and disappeared. I called the police, and, well, that's just about it.
Mr. Ferguson, can you describe these 2 men for us?
Well, not very well, I'm afraid. I didn't get a very good look at the man who was holding the gun on me.
Well, how about the one who was driving the car?
Well, I did notice something about him. As he opened the door for me to get in, I noticed he was small. Very small. Looked almost like a jockey.
Not much more than 5 feet tall, maybe?
Well, that's the way he looked to me.
How about the car itself?
Oh, it was a gray Nash, a new one. Didn't even have license plates. Had one of those stickers on the windshield.
Let's get back to this guy with the gun again. You think you might recognize him if you saw him?
I think so.
Joe, you may be thinking the same thing I am.
Well, whoever pulled this job was pretty thorough. They'd cased Mr. Ferguson a long time. The split-second timing shows that. And it takes a lot of nerve to pull something like this in broad daylight. Put those two things together and they could add up to Slocum.
That's just about the way I'd been figuring.
You got those pictures with you, Ben?
Yeah, here they are.
Okay. Mr. Ferguson, take a look at these pictures.
All right.
Do you recognize any of these men as the one who held you up?
No, I don't recognize any of them at all.
I don't know, Ed. Looks like a blind alley. This job has Slocum written all over it. Ferguson looked at the picture, but he couldn't identify Slocum.
Incidentally, Ferguson just phoned in.
Oh?
He wanted to correct the amount of money in that paper sack.
He told us 8,000.
No, it was closer to 10,000. He said that when he talked to you, he had forgotten he'd cashed some checks about 2,000 that morning, and he had that money in the paper sack too.
Well, 8 or 10, we still haven't got much in the way of leads.
You know, this little fella who was driving the getaway car, he kind of interests me. Wasn't there someone like that who used to drive getaway cars pretty regularly? Campbell. They called him Bantam, didn't he?
Yeah, Bantam Campbell.
I thought of Campbell, but our records show he was sent up about 3 years ago.
No, he's not there now, Friday. I checked with the parole board. Last year, he was paroled and deported to Canada.
Well, if he was deported, maybe he decided to import himself again. He might be around somewhere.
Maybe. It's a pretty slim lead, but it's better than nothing. Go to work on it.
Yeah, it was a slim lead, all right. All we were going on was the fact that Ferguson said the driver was a short man, and we knew Bantam Campbell was short too, real short, about the length of our case so far. We pulled the package on Campbell out of the files and started checking through his records until we came to the Mama sheet. That's a report which lists the criminal's friends and the places he's been known to frequent. Naturally, we looked for Slocum's name on that list, and naturally we didn't find it. But we did find Campbell's wife's address. It was a house on 6th Avenue, 4 doors from the corner. Next door was a little coffee shop, and there was a florist shop on the corner. We tried the florist.
Good morning. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
I'm Sergeant Friday. This is Sergeant Romero, Police Department. We'd like a little information.
You name it, Sergeant.
There's a Mrs. Campbell who lives 4 houses down. You know her?
Slightly. She sort of keeps to herself most of the time. I think she's a waitress in a restaurant. I see her drive off pretty early every morning.
Well, how about her husband?
He went to prison several years ago.
You haven't seen him around lately?
No.
How'd you like to have an assistant here in your florist shop?
Couldn't afford it.
We want to keep an eye on this neighborhood for a few days. I admit I don't know much about flowers, but I think I can make out. And of course, it won't cost you anything. How about it?
What can I lose? Okay, you got yourself a job.
So, for the next 4 days, I made a try at selling flowers. Ben was staked out in the car down the street away, keeping an eye on Mrs. Campbell's house. I was picking up what neighborhood gossip I could in the florist shop. There was no sign of Campbell, and it was beginning to look like another blind alley. Then on the 5th morning, I had a customer. Hi, Ben.
I know. I'll have some bluebonnets.
What are blue bonnets?
Why, Joe, don't tell me you've never heard of bluebonnets. And here I thought you were a civilized man. That's the state flower of Texas. Why, there's even a song about it. Let's see if I can remember how it goes.
All right, all right.
Okay, Joe. I think you can retire from the flower business. I just spotted Campbell going into his wife's house.
Now that we knew Campbell was in town, I quit the job in the flower shop so as not to involve the florist any more than necessary. Of course, we still had nothing at all to tie Campbell in on the payroll holdup, but he was beginning to look more like a possible suspect. We knew he'd violated his parole to come back. That made him hot, and he probably needed money. If he got any. Was it part of the Ferguson payroll? That's what we had to try and find out, which meant that somehow we had to get to Campbell without him knowing who we were. That night, I took a plainclothes policewoman with me, and we drove over to Campbell's house. Detective Division cars have nothing on the outside to identify them as police cars. We parked in front of Campbell's and sat there a couple of hours.
Well, this is a great way to spend an evening.
Yeah.
Joe, Campbell's looking out his front window.
Wait a minute. He's coming outside.
Getting a little curious, isn't he?
That's what we want. I'm going to put my arm around you.
Line of duty, I suppose.
Yeah, sure. He's heading for us now. Here, give me a kiss.
That's not in the police manual.
Line of duty. Hang on. Oh, you got a cigarette, honey?
Here.
How about a match?
No, I think I'm fresh out.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that guy on the sidewalk has one. Hey, mister, you got a light?
What? Oh, yeah. Here's a match.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Getting pretty late, honey. It's after 1.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'd better take you home. Thanks for the light, mister.
Yeah, okay.
That was step number 1. Step number 2 came the next morning. At about 10:30, we saw Campbell come out of the house and go into the coffee shop next door. A few minutes later, I followed and slid on the stool next to Campbell. Waiter?
Will it be, mister?
Coffee.
Cream?
No.
Here you are.
Thanks. Would you pass the sugar, please?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Say, didn't I see you last night?
Huh?
Yeah, I asked you for a light, remember?
Oh, yeah, you were the guy in the parked car.
That's right. Boy, I was hoping I'd run into you again.
Why?
Well, I did a pretty stupid thing, bringing my girl around this neighborhood. You see, I live around here, and if my wife ever found out that I was...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. You were kind of taking a chance there, weren't you?
I guess I've been drinking kind of heavy and I wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
That coffee smells pretty good. How about a cup?
Cream?
Yes, please. Pass the sugar, will you, fella?
Oh, yeah, here. Like I was telling you, I wanted to tip you if you ever happened to run into my wife and me around, and not to say anything about last night.
Don't worry about that. I'm not the talkative kind.
Glad to hear it. Oh, say, I just remembered. I gotta make a phone call. You have 2 nickels for a dime?
I don't think so, but, oh, here, I got 1 nickel. Yeah.
Thanks, I'll pay you back.
Eh.
You finished with that paper, friend?
Yeah. Help yourself.
Yeah, thanks.
Brad speaking.
This is Joe, Ed.
Yeah.
Say, I met that friend I was telling you about.
Campbell? Are you with Campbell now?
Yeah, he said that horse in the 3rd race looks pretty good.
Have you seen any sign of Slocum around?
No, nothing at all. I tell you, I wasn't planning on coming to work today, but if I get another tip, I'll call you.
Okay. Stay with Campbell. He's got to finger Slocum.
Yeah, so long.
Hey, what horse is that anyways?
Huh?
Didn't you just give somebody a tip on a horse?
Oh, yeah, but,
Yeah, well, which one? How about let me in on it?
well, you got a paper?
Here it is.
Oh, yeah. Here we are. Third race. It's this one.
Gray skies?
Yeah. Gray skies. That's the one.
Are you kidding? That neck was scratched.
Well, all I know is what my friend told me.
Well, your friend better can his money on that one. I'll see you around.
Yeah. So long.
Well, handicapper, you really know your horses, don't you?
Yeah. I'm going back to the car. Well, once in a while you get a break, and that could have been it. But regardless, Campbell started getting real friendly with me now. I guess he figured I could give him some real tips. He bought my coffee that day, the next day I bought his, and the day after that, Ben bought coffee for both of us. Pretty soon, we were old buddies. The trick was to keep Campbell from connecting Ben and I. We'd arrive at the coffee shop at different times and leave at different times, and in between, we'd take turns watching his house. We kept it up for a week, but we got nowhere.
Skipper, in all the time we've been watching Campbell, he hasn't made a single contact of any kind.
He stays in his house most of the time?
Yeah, his wife leaves for work a little after 7 in the morning. About 10:30, Campbell goes next door for coffee. Then he goes back into the house and stays there the rest of the day.
What time do you boys usually leave at night?
About 2 a.m.
Nice hours.
You got any new information for us, Ed?
A little. We found the getaway car that was used in the payroll job. It was a stolen car, and they abandoned it. But it was clean. No fingerprints anywhere.
Another dead end. Where's Slocum hanging out now?
He's dropped out of sight.
Skipper, Ben and I aren't getting anywhere on this case. We thought Slocum might be in on it from the way the job was pulled, but Ferguson couldn't identify Slocum from his picture.
Ferguson said the driver was a little guy, so we figured it could be Campbell. But we can't tie Campbell in on the job, and we can't tie him in with Slocum.
So I thought we'd go over the case again from the beginning and see if we'd overlooked anything, because it looks like we're fresh out of leads right now.
You're not fresh out of leads. You're working on one now. Bantam Campbell. Maybe it'll pan out, maybe it won't. But there's only one way to find out. Do just what you've been doing this last week. Keep an eye on Campbell and wait.
You know, Joe, sitting in this car at 7 in the morning is not what I call fun. These long hours are killing me.
Why don't you put in for overtime?
Very funny. Well, there's Mrs. Campbell backing out of the driveway right on time.
Yeah, show it. Hey, she stopped the car.
Joe, look. Campbell came outside. He's getting in behind the wheel.
Yeah, looks like he's in a hurry. We'll let them get down the street a little before we start tailing them.
Look at him dig out.
Yeah.
Joe, he turned right.
Watch it now, Ben. He might be trying to see if he's being tailed.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't afford to lose him now. The way he's acting, he may be trying to skip town.
There's his car, over at the curb.
Yeah. Campbell in it?
No, but his wife still is.
He's trying to shake us all right. Probably ducked into one of those stores and out the back.
Think maybe he spotted us?
I don't know. Here, we'll pull him to the back of this gas station. Can you see his car from here?
Yeah, Mrs. Campbell's behind the wheel now. She's starting up.
Okay, maybe she's gonna double back and pick him up in the next block. We'll give her a little lead and then tag along. The hunch was right. Mrs. Campbell picked up Bantam on the next street. Then they drove to the store where she worked. Once he dropped her off, he kept to the side streets and stepped on the gas.
He's sure heading out of town, Joe. Looks like he's gotten cold feet.
Well, I guess we better take him now. Hey, pull over!
Huh?
Pull over to the curb!
I guess this is the end of a beautiful friendship, Joe.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, it's you guys. What's the big idea? What are you doing around here?
Come on, we're taking you in.
You what?
I'm Sergeant Friday. This is Sergeant Romero, police.
Oh, come on. Look who you're trying to kid. We've been having coffee every morning together. Don't give me any cop stuff.
Here's my identification card. That convince you?
What do you want with me?
I told you we're taking you in.
Why? I haven't done anything.
Well, then I'm sure you won't mind coming along with us. Get in the car.
Look, I told you you got no right to bring me down here. You got nothing on me, nothing. That's a fine thing when a citizen gets hauled to jail like some
Now,
bum.
just a minute. You said your name was Carson, didn't you?
Sure, it's Carson. What about it?
You ever been arrested before?
I went to a boulevard stop once. Is that any reason to hassle
How come you don't
guy?
have a driver's license on you?
I told you. I left it at home.
All right, Campbell, let's cut out the kidding, huh?
Well, what do you mean Campbell? I told you my name's Carson.
Here, take a look at this report, Bantam.
Bantam?
Says here your name's Campbell. Says you were arrested 4 years ago. Robbery. Here's your fingerprints, your pictures, and your nickname, Bantam.
How about it, Campbell?
Okay. So I'm Campbell.
You were paroled and deported to Canada. You violated your parole when you sneaked back.
Now, look, fellas. Can you give me a break, huh? The only reason I come back was to see my wife. And honest, I ain't pulled anything since I come back. I'm clean.
We think you were in on a payroll robbery that took place last week, Campbell.
That's a lie.
You drove the getaway car.
I said it's a lie.
You were working with another man. Take a look at these pictures. Ever seen any of these guys before?
No. None of them.
How about this one?
I said I didn't know any of them.
This is a man named Slocum. Ever hear of him?
No.
That's funny.
Well, in a couple of minutes, we're going to take you out to one of the precincts and book you, Campbell.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Won't do you any good. I'll be out in an hour.
Habeas corpus, huh?
Sure.
Has Slocum got a lawyer to keep you out of trouble?
I told you, I don't know any Slocum.
You know, whoever springs you'll have to find you first.
Don't worry about that, Friday. My name will be on the blotter wherever I'm booked.
Does the name Carson mean anything to your lawyer?
Carson, what are you trying to pull? I told you my name's Campbell. You know it.
Funny. I'd have sworn you told us your name was Carson. And that's just how we're going to book you.
Hey, you can't do that.
Come on, Joe. Let's go see the skipper.
Right.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't do that. Wait.
Look at this picture, Slope. Oh, Joe, I just discovered something while we were talking to Campbell.
What is it?
Now look at this picture, Slope. That's the one I just showed Campbell.
Yeah, well, what about it?
Well, now look at this one. The one we've been carrying around.
Hey, they look like two different guys.
Yeah. Now here we are.
Well, did you get Campbell to spill anything?
No, Skipper.
I didn't think so. It's going to be a tough job getting him to talk. I'm not optimistic about it.
Ed, we've got two different pictures of Slocum here, and they don't look anything alike.
What? Let me see. He looks about 10 years older and 20 pounds lighter in this one.
That's the picture that we showed the holdup victim, Skipper. Where'd it come from, anyway?
Salt Lake City. It's the most recent picture of him there is. The other one we dug out of our files. It was made when Slocum was arrested for drunk driving a couple of years ago.
Ed, we want to show this second picture to Ferguson.
Go ahead.
We checked and found out why the picture looked so different. The one from Salt Lake City had been made after Slocum had driven there from Kansas City while he was wounded. He'd lost a lot of blood and was pretty weak, which accounted for the change in appearance. But now we had a good picture of Slocum, and when we showed it to the holdup victim, Ferguson, he didn't hesitate a moment.
Sure, that's the guy who robbed me.
Well, along about then, we thought we really had something. But Backstrand didn't think we had enough.
Look, so Ferguson finally identifies Slocum. That's not good enough. A defense attorney could bring out the fact that Ferguson couldn't identify Slocum from the other picture, and the case would probably collapse. I told you I wanted Slocum good. We've got to have testimony from Slocum's partner, and if that partner is Bantam Campbell, get that testimony.
So we went back to Campbell, and this time we took a different approach. We knew Campbell likes thick steaks, so we took him out and bought him one.
Hey, pretty nice of you fellas to do this.
Good steak, Bantam?
Yeah, it sure is.
You know, it's too bad.
Huh?
How old are you, Campbell?
40. Why?
Well, let's see. You still got 20 years of your sentence staring you in the face on account of violating parole. That means you're going to be 60 when you get out.
Yeah.
It's sure going to be a long time without steak, Bantam.
Look, will you guys cut it out?
I don't think you're being very smart, Campbell. We know you didn't plan the holdup. You were only the driver.
Look, I told you I don't know nothing about any holdup.
Of course, the bad part is what could happen to you unless we get a real case.
What do you mean?
Well, we're going to bring Slocum in on the strength of his identification by Ferguson. Now, we can't withhold your name from him.
So unless we convict Slocum, you know he's going to think it was you who caused his arrest. He'll be gunning for you. Now, how about it?
Pass the steak sauce.
I don't know whether we made a dent or not. It was hard to tell. When we got back to the squad room later, one of the boys was holding the phone. It was a call for me.
Sergeant Friday?
Yeah?
This is Ferguson. You know, the man who was held up?
Sure, Mr. Ferguson.
A man just telephoned me, Sergeant. He said he'd seen you two guys talking to me. That if I didn't forget all about that robbery, it was going to be too bad for me.
I see.
Yeah, he also told me he'd get my wife and child if I testified.
Mr. Ferguson, we'll get some men over to protect you right away. Ed!
I'm here, Friday.
That was Ferguson. He's just been threatened about that picture identification.
Get some men over to his place of business and to his house. Tell them to stick to Ferguson like they were related.
Now it was strictly a question of time. Find a way to break down Campbell, get him to spill about Slocum, then find Slocum before he got to Ferguson. I went home and sat there, going over the whole case in my mind right from the beginning, trying to find the one thing we could use to break down Campbell, and I finally found it. I started toward the phone to call Ben, but just then the phone rang. Yeah.
This is Ben, Joe. Hey, I think I figured out something that might make Campbell open up.
Okay, Ben, you tell me.
Now, Ferguson first told us there was 8,000 in the paper sack. Later, he realized there was 10,000. But the papers printed 8.
And knowing Slocum, it's just possible he held out that extra 2,000 on Campbell. Okay, Ben, meet you at Campbell's cell in 10 minutes.
What's that big idea waking me up this time of night, guys? Why don't you guys just leave me alone?
It's just that we don't think you're being very smart, Campbell. So you got half the payroll dough, $5,000. That still isn't worth 20 years locked up.
5,000?
Well, half of 10 is 5, Campbell. We figured it was a 50-50 split between you and your partner.
The papers said it was 8,000.
That's wrong, Bantam. It was 10,000. You don't suppose your partner held out on you, do you?
You guys are trying to pull a fast one on me. It was 8,000, right?
We'll get the guy you robbed down here. He'll tell you there was 10,000 in that sack.
That chiseler. That dirty two-timing chiseler.
He did hold out the 2,000 on you, didn't he?
Yeah, he held out on me. Okay. Okay.
It was Slocum, wasn't it?
Sure, it was Slocum. And I'll fix him. I'll spill the whole works. I'll tell you guys anything you want to know.
Well, Campbell gave us our case against Slocum, but we still didn't have Slocum. We pulled Slocum's package out of the files and listed the bars he used to hang out at. We covered them all. On the second night, we spotted him leaving one of them by the rear exit. Just a minute, fella.
Huh? What?
Your name, Slocum?
What's it to you?
I'm Friday. This is Romero, police.
So what?
We're taking you in on suspicion of robbery.
You haven't got anything on me, and you know it. Now get out of my way.
We've got Campbell, Slocum.
Huh?
And he spilled the whole story.
You're not hooking me.
Get your hand away from your pocket. Slocum!
Oh!
Joe, he just never should have gone for his gun, should he?
Well, that was about it. From what Campbell told us, we were able to reconstruct the crime. Slocum had been the brains. Campbell was the man behind the wheel. Slocum had cased the job for 6 weeks and had stolen a car just before the holdup. After the job, they separated, met later in a parking lot to split the dough, and then hadn't been together since. And of course, Slocum had held out the extra $2,000 on Campbell. So Campbell's mistake was to trust a thief. Campbell was turned over to the Canadian authorities. Slocum was convicted, and he's serving from 5 years to life in the state penitentiary. File it, will you, Ben? Case closed.
Dragnet. The story you have just heard was true. Only the names were changed to protect the innocent. You have just heard the first in a new series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice for Dragnet comes from the Office of C.B. Harrell, Chief of Police, Los Angeles Police Department. Tonight's program is dedicated to Sergeant Tommy Milton of the Los Angeles Police Department, who, on the night of May 16, 1949, gave his life so that yours might be more secure. Dragnet came to you from Los Angeles. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
So that's Dragnet. As noted, it was a show that was so distinctive it was ripe for parody. Stan Freberg, Spike Jones, Mad Magazine, Jack Benny, and others all rose to the occasion. And now, so does Robert L. Mills, former writer for Bob Hope, with a script which he has dubbed Hairenet. We're bringing back our same voice actors, some good guys, some bad guys, and this time definitely some funny guys. Only the roles have been changed to protect their reputations.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed to protect those who had nothing to do with tonight's crime. In fact, most of them have never committed any crime more serious than tearing the label off their couch. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide. A well-known European-trained hairdresser and fashion designer has been found dead in his shop. A pair of scissors protruding from his chest. The weapon was obviously wielded by a suspect with a, pardon the pun, axe to grind. Your job, find him.
Hairenet.
the documented drama of an actual crime, investigated and solved by the men who unrelentingly stand watch on the security of your home, your family, and your life. For the next 30 minutes, transcribed in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Hairenet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Monday, March 10th. Sunny in Los Angeles, though partly cloudy with a gentle breeze that seemed to be coming from the south, southwest. Wasn't sure. I knew the boys in weather division across the hall were working hard on it. We were assigned to day watch out of homicide. Partner's Ben Romero. Boss is Stone Flintridge, chief of detectives. My name's Friday. Medical examiner looked up as we approached.
Joe, Ben.
Harvey, got anything?
Well, the rash I had is gone and the doc's... Oh, you mean...
Yeah. Time of death.
Maybe I figure Ed Sullivan?
Ed Sullivan?
Yeah, last night around 8:30.
At 8:15, Ed introduced Topo Gigio, and my kids went...
Who's Topo Gigio?
He's a mouse.
Like Mickey?
Yeah, only he speaks Italian.
From the looks of these stab wounds, our suspect wasn't watching.
Classic overkill. The first one looks like it did the trick.
Heart?
Well, whoever did this didn't have one.
They never do.
Well, the skin under his fingernails may give us something. It looks like he fought back.
Crime of passion?
Well, they weren't bosom buddies.
Ballistics, check those scissors.
Yeah, no surprise.
Oh?
They were sharp.
The uniformed officers who responded to the midnight call at Mr. Victor's Puff and Fluff on Melrose determined that the victim was Victor Francois, age 48, who'd owned the salon for 7 years. The victim had been spotted by a civilian who was passing by and saw the body lying in a pool of blood. He was questioned by the officers and released. The Puff and Fluff employed 6 stylists, all except 2 foreign immigrants. Since there was no sign of forced entry, this appeared to be an inside job. Frank and I knew we had our work cut out for us, checking green cards, possible criminal backgrounds of 12 current former employees. Checked in with the skipper. He agreed to add a few extra officers to help us with the interviews. 10:26 a.m. Ben and I drove to the scene of the crime on Melrose. When we arrived, the forensic team was still collecting evidence, but otherwise business as usual. Ben wanted to get a shampoo, blow dry, and eyebrow pluck, especially the day, but I convinced him he'd be a laughingstock back at the station. He agreed. We collected the files of former employees from the manager. 11:18 a.m. We drove to Century City, location of the apartment of the first employee on our list, Rosario Concepcion, born and trained in the Philippines and working under the name Mr. Roberto. You the one they call Mr. Roberto?
Yes, sir.
How long did you know the victim?
Let's see, it's been years, but I'd say from the day we met.
Yeah. Till when?
Until he, you'll know.
If we knew, we wouldn't have asked.
Sorry, officer. The question wasn't clear. I guess I knew him until I finished work last night and went home.
What time was that?
10:15.
Which is it?
Which is what?
10 or 10:15.
Oh, I remember now. It was 10:12.
Exactly?
Yeah.
How do you know?
I remember timing my combs.
Why did you time combs?
To soak them.
Soak your combs?
Yes, sir. Mr. Victor liked all our equipment soaked. It was a health department thing to keep his license in good standing.
So you soaked said scissors before you stabbed them into Mr. Victor's heart?
No, wait a minute.
He's right, Joe. We don't know that yet.
Okay. I took a chance he might break down, confess.
That only happens in Perry Mason.
Uh-huh. Tell me, mister, just where did you learn to soak your combs?
At beauty school.
Beauty school?
The National Academy of Cosmetology.
That where you got your degree?
I was valedictorian.
What was your major? Murder 101?
Hey, if you guys have any evidence that I killed Mr. Victor, arrest me. If not, close your donut shoot.
Look, pal, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Your choice.
Gee, that's a tough one. Can I get back to you?
Okay, one more crack like that and you're going downtown.
Oh, goody. I need new shoes.
Okay, wise guy. You're under arrest.
What for?
For willfully impeding the course of a lawful investigation. Did I get that right, Joe?
You did?
For some reason, I can never remember if it's impede or interrupt.
If I'm not mistaken, the DA accepts either one.
Hey, you guys mind getting on with this? I have some errands to run. Put my bracelets on.
Oh, you're in luck. We got a special this week.
Special?
They come with a matching necklace. Ben and I decided to stop for a cup of coffee at one of our favorite watering holes, the Copper Penny, on Vineland Riverside Drive. It's time for a quick review of the evidence we'd collected so far.
Could you pass me the sugar, Joe?
There you go. Hey, I thought you were trying to cut back.
Notice, if you will, Joe, that I'm down to 5 cubes.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Sorry.
So, let's go over what we have so far. A body.
With a pair of scissors sticking out of his heart.
A passing civilian walking her dog who spots the victim.
A 10-year-old kid on a bike who was observed near the scene.
Umpteen co-workers of the victim in an industry that requires one to be handy with the murder weapon.
And not one solid suspect.
But on the plus side...
Plus side?
It's not raining.
Yeah. Slide that cream over here, would you?
Heads up.
You must be great at shuffleboard.
Yeah. Thanks to all those cruises.
Following day, we decided to pay a visit to our only eyewitness, an out-of-work go-go dancer named Yvette Valencia, age 20, who lived in a deck department building on Lancashire in North Hollywood.
Place looks nice enough. Maybe the go-go business is thriving.
I'm sure it has its ups and downs.
Yes? Who is it?
LAPD, ma'am. We just need you to answer a few questions.
I already told the officers everything I saw.
We're just following up, ma'am. Standard police procedure, ma'am.
Sorry to be so suspicious, gentlemen, but you know you can't be too careful these days.
You're absolutely right, ma'am, and we appreciate citizens who are alert to possible dangers. Helps us stay one step ahead of the bad guys.
You know, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a cop just like my dad.
Your dad was in the department?
I think I remember him. I worked with Rocky Valencia over on the Hollebeck district.
That's him. His name was Roscoe, but everybody called him Rocky.
Small world. How's he doing these days?
Well, he retired in Florida, bought a fishing boat.
That's great.
Not really. You know, he got caught running guns, and now he's doing 10 to 20 in the slammer.
Yeah, it's always a shame when a cop goes bad.
Just got tired of smelling like fish all the time.
Uh-huh.
We just have some follow-up questions for you.
And I'm glad you stopped by. You know, after I talked to the other guy, I remembered I did spot a kid running away from the beauty parlor. The huffing stuff, is it?
Fluff and puff.
Sure, Joe? I thought it was called the Nip and Tuck.
Nip and Tuck's a cosmetic surgery clinic across the street.
I had my tummy tuck done there. They do good work.
Nice job at that.
Yeah. So this kid you saw, what did he look like?
You know, just an ordinary kid like the ones you see riding their bikes around the schools.
Fat or skinny?
Well, he was average, I guess.
Not the kid. The tires on his bike.
Fat.
What did you ride as a kid, Joe?
Skinny. With handbrakes. Much faster.
Yeah, I had you figured for skinny.
Now, this kid you saw, how was he dressed?
Dressed? Well, like any kid, I guess. You know, blue jeans with rolled up cuffs, t-shirt, black kids.
Uh-huh. Anything written on that t-shirt?
Let's see. Now that you mention it, it did have the name of his school on it.
His school?
Lincoln Elementary.
Tuesday, March 11. Ben and I decided to see if we could run down that kid spotted near the crime scene. Lincoln Elementary was located on a tree-shaded street in Sherman Oaks, medium-sized bedroom community adjacent to North Hollywood. Examining class photos, our eyewitness identified a 7th grader named Billy Wellington.
We're always happy to help the police in any way we can. Like I said on the phone, I think Billy fits the description of the child you described. I called his mother, and she has no objection to his being questioned, as long as you're not accusing him of anything.
No, sir. He's just a witness.
We interviewed the boy, who confirmed he had been riding his bike near the scene of the crime. He observed a brown car scream away from the curb as he rode by. While he didn't know the make of the vehicle, he remembered it had a row of 3 holes in the front fenders. Our vehicular forensic squad confirmed that the car was a 1949 Buick Super Sedan. Finally, we had a solid lead.
We got your call on the radio, Harvey. You have something for us?
Yeah, I hate to disappoint you guys, but this was no 187.
Not a homicide?
Nope. This death was accidental.
Accidental?
How's that?
Well, the way I figure it, fellas, he soaked his scissors along with his combs like he always did. Only this time he decided to dry both the combs and scissors with his blow dryer set on high. He propped the scissors up to dry out, and while using the blow dryer, he somehow tripped and fell. A newly cleaned pair of scissors punctured a coronary artery, and it was over in about 30 seconds.
Ooh, tough way to go.
Can you think of a nice one?
The story you have just heard is true. Only the names were changed to protect the reputation of those guilty of overacting. On July 14th, 1956, a coroner's inquest officially determined that the death of Victor Francois was accidental, and the case was officially closed.
That closes the file on this Project Audion. In alphabetical order, our far-flung voice talents included Denise and Norman Klein in Kentucky, Pete Fernbach in West Virginia, Caleb Fisher in Virginia, Chris Hart in Florida, Ed Herman in New York, Sean Massey in Texas, R.L. Mills in California, Craig Wickman in New York. R.L. Mills wrote Hairenet, while production, direction, sound, and music was by Larry Groby in Texas. Project Audion's goal is to present new versions of classic audio dramas to modern ears. And if you support it and enjoy it, then please like us and share these episodes with your friends. And until next time, thanks for listening.
Who is it?
That scared me.
You don't like dogs, Ben?
I don't mind dogs, I just don't like them right in my ear.
Who is it? They think it.
Yeah, I know. Of course. I've had that happen before, too.